Chapter 533, The Great Transformation. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. Zhang Yuochen has only been in the Xuanwu primitive world for 2 months. On the other hand, Huang Yanjun, Alxinian, and Orange Star Emissary have been cultivating themselves for 2 years in the Scroll world. Throughout the past 2 years, Alxinian made the most progress. Besides practicing King's stage exercises, she also ingested huge doses of Flood Dragon Soul pills. This allowed her to accomplish skin refining to gold and bone refining to jade, allowing her to break through to the third change in the Fish Dragon realm. On the other hand, Orange Star Emissary practiced Moon Picture of Demons, which was among the 36 pictures in the Omen lithograph, one of the 6 greatest books. With her exceptional talent, she could absorb holy chi from the sacred prime tree and reach the peak of the second change in the Fish Dragon realm. Although Huang Yanchun's aptitude was far lower than that of Alxinian and Orange Star Emissaries, she managed to reach the second change in the Fish Dragon realm with the help of Xuanwu Chi and the Fish Dragon pills. In 2 short years, her strength had undergone tremendous changes and had reached a frightening level. Each of them were masters in their own way. Huang Yanchun stood under the sacred prime tree. Her long royal blue hair was tied up with a hairpin, revealing her fair and slender neck. She looked like an elegant and graceful beauty in a painting. With the advancement in her level of cultivation, she had a more distant temperament. By surpassing the limitations of human strength, she had begun her journey on the holy road. She fixed her eyes on Zhang Yuochen, who didn't stand too far away, and said, "We are going to deal with the 3 masters of the black market on this trip. Are you sure you want to bring Orange Star Emissary along? Lest you forget she was from the Black Market Excellence Hall. She might turn against us if she's desperate." Zhang Yuochen said, "Only 2 months have passed in the external world, but your cultivation has reached the second change in the Fish Dragon realm. How do you feel about that?" Though she was taken aback and did not know why Zhang Yuochen asked her this question, Huang Yanjun honestly replied, "Of course I felt it was incredible. If not for the yin-yang wooden graph, I wouldn't have been able to reach this realm even if I were given 10 years. Zhang Yuochen nodded as he smiled and said, "What should have been a 10-year journey in cultivation only took 2 months to complete." Orange Star Emissary is a smart woman. I believe she knows how to make the right choice. Huang Yanchun's eyes sparkled and she said, "Are you saying that as long as Orange Star Emissary wishes to cultivate herself in yin-yang wooden graph, she would have to work for you?" Zhang Yuochen said, "Only those who have opened the sacred mark of space and time may open the yin-yang wooden graph. Otherwise, even if she forcibly took it, it would be impossible for her to open the world in the scroll. Besides, since we want to train her, she needs to work for me. This time it will be a test for her to completely sever her ties with the black market, lest she betrays me when she reaches Half-Saint realm in the future. Wouldn't it be worse by then?" Huang Yanjun turned silent when she understood Zhang Yuochen's intentions. She just hoped that Zhang Yuochen would not be tricked by Orange Star Emissary. After all, it was almost impossible for a man to not be attracted to someone as beautiful as Orange Star Emissary. News from Xuanwu heritage spread throughout Huanghe Island within 2 months. In addition to the foreign monks, a great number of soldiers of primitive world from the Ministry of War were setting out to sail deep into the Xixuan Sea to try their luck. Xixuan Sea was known to be extremely dangerous but was suddenly filled with ships belonging to humans. Xixuan Sea was, after all, under the jurisdiction of the Red Cloud Pythons. Conflicts continued to break out between the humans and the savage beasts in the waters, causing many casualties. Zhang Yuochen stood at the stern of a 30-meter-long ship. He released his spiritual power, which transformed into tiny light spots that flew in all directions. Moments later, his spiritual power identified a 50-meter-long medium-sized ship 600 miles away. The ship was carrying a squadron of 102 soldiers of primitive world. They were mostly warriors of the Heaven realm and only 2 among them had reached the Fish Dragon realm. Zhang Yuochen did not want to be discovered by the superiors on the ship who had reached the Fish Dragon realm. So he carefully maneuvered his spiritual power to be close enough to the warriors of the Heaven realm to eavesdrop on their conversation. Zhang Yuochen quickly got the information he wanted. In fact, The human monks almost confirmed the exact location of the Xuanwu heritage place within 2 months. The place was called Bloody Trench. It was said that someone discovered ancient Xuanwu footprints at the bottom of the sea near the Bloody Trench. Someone even found a piece of Xuanwu scale on an island near Bloody Trench, which later provoked a battle that resulted in the tragic deaths of dozens of masters. That battle was the reason why the high-level officials of the Hwanghae Island army were alerted. They then sent a large group of soldiers of Primitive World from that area to the Bloody Trench. This squadron was one of them. They were heading to a place called Holy Turtle Island, which was less than 2,000 miles away from the Bloody Trench. Based on the information acquired from the soldiers of Primitive World on the ship, most of the human monks were currently gathered at the Holy Turtle Island. A middle-aged man of the Dawn state of the Heaven Realm was wiping his 9th Order genuine martial arms sword while saying, "The Bloody Trench is the ancient murderland of the Xixuan Sea." It was said that there were already many masters of the Fish Dragon realm who wished to break in, but all of them died in the borders. It is no wonder that they have gathered at the Holy Turtle Island. They are probably waiting for King Jinhuang to arrive because they dare not make any moves yet. Only a superior like him could take surround the ancient murderland and force his way into the Bloody Trench. Indeed, King Jinhuang was among the first batch of soldiers of Primitive World to enter the Xuanwu Primitive World. With his strength, he could make his way into the Bloody Trench. Those who follow him may be able to get something out of it. If it really is the Xuanwu heritage place, whatever we are able to get our hands on, regardless of how small, could guarantee us a lifetime of bliss. The exchange between the soldiers of Primitive World provided Zhang Ruochen with an abundance of helpful information. Confident that he has gathered sufficient information, he gradually withdrew his spiritual power and reopened his eyes. Holy Turtle Island, Zhang Ruochen murmured. How could he not go if everyone was already gathered there? Zhang Ruochen drove the ship forward with his genuine chi, following 600 miles behind the medium-sized ship toward the Holy Turtle Island. After sailing for a whole day, the ship had sailed over 10,000 miles and passed the midsection of the Xixuan Sea area before entering the deep sea area. Their surroundings became more dangerous the farther they sailed. They were even attacked by an aquatic savage beast once, which was an extremely powerful 5th-level savage beast. However, Zhang Ruochen managed to kill it and turn it into a military merit. After nightfall, the medium-sized ship in front of them transformed into a vessel defending formation as it rested on the sea surface. Obviously, they were aware that traveling at night was very dangerous. Zhang Ruochen did not know the exact location of the Holy Turtle Island and had to follow them. Naturally, he had to stop and rest too. The moon looked especially beautiful that night. A bright full moon hung in the vault of heaven, its light reflecting like a silver veil covering the sea with a layer of white light. Surrounding the moon were silver-lined clouds of various shapes and size. Woch! The orange star emissary sat cross-legged on the deck. She put her hands together and conjured a circle of black devil moon on top of her head. The devil moon slowly rose into the sky, reaching a height of around 333 meters and started absorbing the moonlight. It was like a black hole that swallowed light in an instant. The surrounding waters suddenly darkened. Huang Yanqun looked coldly and said, "What are you doing? Are you trying to lead the evil warriors of the black market here?" Orange Star Emissary ignored Huang Yanqun and remained silent. Huang Yanqun's body emitted a stream of icy air and the moisture in the air around her crystallized, forming snowflakes. The snowflakes combined to form a 3-foot-long ice-cold sword and it swiftly flew toward Orange Star Emissary's head. Crash! Orange Star Emissary used her omen eyes, turning her eyes purplish-black. 2 dark rays emerged from her pupils and struck the ice-cold sword, shattering it into pieces. She looked at Huang Yanqun with a smile and said, "It never crossed my mind that I might lead the masters of the black market here. I was just trying to absorb the moonlight to cultivate my physical quality." "Is that so?" How could Huang Yanqun trust her? She spun her fingers to condense genuine chi, then struck Orange Star Emissary with her palm. The deep groaning sound of a dragon emerged from within her arms. Her palm power turned into a dragon claw. Swoosh! Zhang Ruochen shook slightly, transporting himself 10 meters forward and stood in front of Orange Star Emissary, thereby blocking Huang Yanqun's attack. "Why are you blocking me?" Huang Yanqun asked. Puzzled, Zhang Yuochen calmly said, "Let her practice her skills." "What happens if she leads the black market masters here?" said Huang Yanjun. Zhang Yuochen said, "Isn't that a good thing?" Huang Yanjun looked deeply into Zhang Yuochen's eyes momentarily as she withdrew her palm. She gave Orange Star Emissary another hard look and said, "If you betray us, I will be the first to kill you." The corners of Orange Star Emissary's mouth formed a cold smile. The truth was, she was not bothered by what Huang Yanjun said. After midnight, a cold wind suddenly blew the calm surface of the sea. Zhang Yuochen abruptly opened his eyes and looked intently at a spot on the surface of the sea, saying, "Since your excellency is here, why don't you show yourself?" On the ship, Huang Yanchen and Ao Xinyun were shaken and immediately stopped their practice to prepare themselves for an attack. A man with a hoarse voice said, "You realized I was here. Your spirit power is indeed great. I suppose it has reached 41 orders, right?" Zhang Yuochen just smiled and remained silent. Whoosh! He stuck his left thumb out and struck the void space with it. Sun Meridian Ripple. The meridian of his finger sucked up all the surrounding genuine chi and condensed it to form a sword wave that was 1 foot thick. It transformed into a powerful burning light wave that shot forward.